inside Spartan Stadium in its 94th season. We've got a rematch of the 2015 Big Ten Championship game that went down the wire and went to Sparty. How close were the Hawkeyes to coming to East Lansing today as a ranked team? Before we talk about today, we have to go back to last Saturday in Iowa. It came this close.
Iowa's one play away from upsetting another top 5 undefeated team. It's win it or lose it right here. Here's the snap. He's back to pass. In the end zone throws. Got it. Touchdown. Penn State and the Nittany Lions at the wire win it.
Number 4, Penn State taking down the Hawkeyes in Iowa City. Happy as always you're with us for Big Ten football on Fox. Aaron Goldsmith alongside Brady Quinn. Brady, we know what happened to the Hawkeyes. Meanwhile, for Sparty and Michigan State, it was a week ago here at home against the Irish. 3 costly first half turnovers. That's been a theme so far. So both teams coming off losses, but the good news, both teams have a lot ahead of them.
Each team really trying to rebound coming into this week. Here's the good news. All your goals and everything is still out there for you if you're trying to win the Big Ten championship. The bad news is neither team can afford a loss. If you're Iowa, look at their schedule in the Big Ten West. They've got to go to Northwestern, Wisconsin, and Nebraska. And for Michigan State, it's a loaded Big Ten East. Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan still up ahead for them, so really neither team can afford a loss today.
Absolutely spectacular day out for football here in East Lansing, Michigan. 64 degrees, just barely a breeze, and a full house inside Spartan Stadium. Andre Welch, the true freshman, just 1 kick return all season. He is a lone man deep for Michigan State. Miguel Racinos, the junior out of Mason City, Iowa, getting set to kick things off. We know this much about Michigan State so far this year. Turnovers have been a problem. For more on that, we go down to the field. We bring in Bruce Feldman.
Aaron, Michigan State's lost 6 fumbles in 3 games, the worst ratio in the country. Running back L.J. Scott has been stripped 3 times, including twice at the goal line. Scott's a gifted back, but he now has 8 fumbles in his career. Spartan offensive coordinator Dave Warner told me it's getting to the point where you have to address it, but you don't want to overdo it. He did tell us Scott had to carry a football around the offices all week, and they had plenty of reminders, including a football attached to a coil with a big sign that reads, "Ball security is job security, yours and ours."
And how about Gerald Holmes starting things in the backfield? As Brian Lewerke goes to the air, and right away, it's Felton Davis for a big gain and a first down.
Michigan State wants to establish the run game early, but what do? They utilize the play-action pass to help suck up the Iowa linebackers. A little bit overly aggressive, allows for a big window in the middle of the field to Davis.
Davis very consistent so far this year. 4 catches all 3 games. Holmes gets his first carry. As we take a look at Brian Lewerke, Brady, a dual-threat quarterback, leading the Spartans in rushing.
Yeah, he's leading the Big Ten in rushing yards for quarterbacks. And I think what makes him so effective is his ability to make men miss, not only in the pocket, but when he keeps the football and runs downfield, he's very elusive. So look for him in some of the zone read schemes today to keep the football, and even when he drops back, to scramble at times to pick up first downs.
Again, looking for Davis, his second grab.
One change of note for the Michigan State offensive line is number 59, David Beadle, is out today due to injury. You'll see number 75, Kevin Jarvis. He's a true freshman, getting his first start today at 6'4", 315-pound true freshman at Park Ridge, Illinois. He's got to have a tough task today going up against a very good Iowa defensive front.
Now, this is one of the youngest teams in the nation, and it continues to be on display on the offensive line today for Michigan State. It remains Jared Holmes in the backfield. Lewerke rolls out. And the catch made for first down as he connects that time with his favorite target, Darrell Stewart.
In particular on 3rd down, he's also Lewerke's favorite target. And that last play, essentially a simple sprint out, allowing Lewerke to get outside the pocket, but they essentially ran a little rub route. A couple of Michigan State wide receivers running downfield created a natural pick for Stewart.
Lewerke completing on each of his first 3 passes. Working entry today, pacing the Big Ten in total offense, making just his 6th career start. Sokol, the tight end, moving in motion. On play action. 3rd time, a strike completed once again to Felton Davis. Michael Ujemudi on the tackle.
O.J. Mudia starting today in replace of number 5, Manny Rugamba. Rugamba struggled a little bit last week versus Penn State. O.J. Mudia gets the start, clearly picking on him and testing him early, and that's in part because he's opposite of number 15, Josh Jackson, who's a very, very good corner.
Well, that completion good for Ray, brings up 2nd and short. The give to Holmes. He gets it up for the 1st down. Jared Holmes, the 5th-year senior, 1,000-yard career back. Mentioned the fumbling problems of L.J. Scott. We're yet to see him so far today.
Just walked in today, and you're going to see a 2-back set with both L.J. Scott and Gerald Holmes. And typically when they use both these running backs, they like to try to target one of them out of the backfield. So wouldn't be surprised if there's not sort of some play-action fake and targeting one of those running backs.
There is a play action. To Davis. Whoops is in for the touchdown. His 4th catch on this opening drive. Davis, 4 catches, 67 yards, and the score to open things up for the Spartans.
It's kind of how the Michigan State offense has been, at least at the wide receiver position. A very inexperienced group coming into the season, but it's been Felton Davis, it's been Darrell Stewart. Week to week, they try to feed the hot hand.
Matt Coughlin puts it through. 7-0 Michigan State, an impressive opening drive.
Let's take a look at the touchdown. We talked about the 2 running backs in the backfield. Watch as Felton Davis is going to work his way all the way across the field. A lot of the focus when you freeze right here. Look at the safety. Look at the secondary. Everyone biting up on L.J. Scott. And meanwhile, you see Lewerke does a good job with his eyes, keeping them downfield, finding Davis for the touchdown. That's what happens when you put 2 very capable running backs in the backfield like that. And really their tendency was to target, L.J. Scott out of the backfield catching the football. A little wrinkle there from Michigan State early on.
Almost all through the air. It's a 75-play drive. Lewerke 5 for 5, 70 yards through the air to open things up for Michigan State.
Talk about a bounce-back performance, bounce-back game. That's how you get confidence after a tough loss at home versus Notre Dame last week. That's exactly how you want your team to come out and start this game.
Scanlon getting ready to kick things away. Kenny Martin. Pass to 20, to the 30. Tripped up after a nice return past the 35. You talk about this Iowa offense, you have got to talk about Akrum Wadley.
Well, what makes him so special is his ability to make defenders miss in space. Watch this spin move. Oh, my goodness. And then it's his ability to catch the football out of the backfield, in particular on 3rd down. You get the easy completions, and then he just makes people miss in the open field, and he's got the explosion and the top end speed to take it all the way to the house. If not for Saquon Barkley and how good he's been this season, everyone would be talking about the running back for Iowa.
Wadley's 2nd in the Big Ten, 6th in the nation in all-purpose yards. He's a lone back behind Nate Stanley. Stanley, the sophomore from Wisconsin, puts it in the air and overthrows his intended target. Looking for Nick Easley. What do you like when you've seen Stanley so far on tape?
I think the big thing for a first-year starter, he's a good decision maker. 12 touchdowns, only 1 interception so far this year. Hasn't thrown an interception since the first quarter of the first game. And as a field general, they run a kind of complicated system. They get him in the right play all the time with their check with me system. He does a good job in his decision making as far as which play they run.
No quarterback in Iowa history has thrown for more touchdown passes over the first 4 starts than Stanley. Bootlegs out. Finds Hawkinson as tight end, enough for the first down. Primarily a blocking tight end, just the 6th catch this year for Hawkinson.
When you look at the size of the Iowa tight be one of the mismatches that they see. Hawkinson stands at 6'5", 245. Noah Fant, number 87. We'll see him as well. He's more of the athletic type where he can really stretch the field, but both of those guys, big targets for their quarterback, Nate Stanley.
Fant has been especially valuable on third down. Here, 1st and 10. On the ground for the first time, Wadley bottled up. It was a frustrating first half for Wadley last week against Penn State. He was able to get almost nothing going. Look at his first half. 0 net yards.
But really the first half for the Iowa offense. I mean, you look at their first few drives until the touchdown pass from Nate Stanley deep in the second quarter. They had about 23 yards of total offense when you add it up.
Two receivers stacked each side. And it's knocked down. It was Andrew Dowell, one of the Spartans' top tacklers, a linebacker, in on it. Incomplete pass.
Let's take another look, and we're going to see number 5 at the right of your screen as he comes across the line of scrimmage. Wisely gets a hand up in the passing lane. The biggest question of whether or not that was lateral. It looks like it may have had a chance to be, however, it's not going to be reviewed. Bringing up a big third down, and all of a sudden you're looking at this package that Michigan State has on defense, the Delta package. A bunch of speed rushers, a lot of speed, trying to bring pressure on the Iowa offense.
Vandenberg and easily split off to the right. Pressure, taken down. Joe Bocci, the first-year starter, Spartans leading tackler, leading the charge.
One guy to keep your eye on who's special is number 26, Brandon Randall. Now, he plays as a linebacker, but they put him in down as a defensive end. He helps bring the speed off the edge that forces Nate Stanley up into the pocket, and Joe Bocci cleans up the rest.
Instead of the lefty punter on a hop. Reese Nelson trying to make people miss. 64 degrees here in East Lansing. We take a look at the series history, Brady, between these two teams, and it is spectacular how evenly matched it has been in recent meetings.
Both teams very similar. Well coached, very disciplined. You look at their approach, good defense, running the football, basing everything off of that, so you can see why it's been very even throughout the series history.
L.J. Scott gets his first carry and bursts ahead near the sticks. Miles Taylor brings him down. Well, this is not looking like a Michigan State team that had all the miscues, especially early a week ago against Notre Dame.
Ton of penalties, ton of dropped balls, and clearly the turnovers is really what did them in the most. When you throw a pick six and you've got a running back who fumbles as he's going into the end zone, that is going to hurt you.
Scott, his first carry, a pickup of 9, brings up second and short. Beat him again. Stonewall trying to find a push.
The guy to keep an eye on for Michigan State is number 18, Felton Davis. So far, had a very productive day, 4 catches, 67 yards, and a touchdown. He's got a lot of size, 6'4", 200 pounds. He's got that size advantage over O.J. Medina.
And brings Stewart in motion. The work, he calls his own number, trying to lunge ahead. Let's see where they put him. Spartans confident they have it.
The Michigan State offense has been pretty good this year on 4th down. They've converted 2 of their 3 attempts. One of the best teams in the country in regards to 3rd down. So not surprised they're going to go for it when you've got a running back like L.J. Scott with his size, like a physical runner that he is. Not a big surprise.
Scott 6'1", 229. Lewerke again pushing forward. Does he have it this time?
To me, it starts with their center, number 65, Brian Allen. The push that he gets and the physicality that he brings to the offensive line as their leader up front is a big reason why they've been so successful with some of those quarterback sneaks.
Captain making his 19th consecutive start. He was somebody that you were talking about very early on in the week, Brady.
Right, he's a guy that I think in order for this Michigan State offensive line to be effective in their run blocking, really getting that initial surge, it all starts with him getting movement off the ball.
Play action. Trying to find Davis again. Underthrown. Incomplete.
There is some grabbing and some shoving going on, but number 15, Josh Jackson, had tight coverage the entire way. If there's any doubt about the fact that was incomplete. I just think you're looking at Felton Davis wondering if one of his other arms free. Josh Jackson had it tied up.
I heard about the quarter pole this season, and Jackson has been one of the best cornerbacks in the Big Ten so far this year.
He's tough. I mean, he's tall, he's long, he's got the ability really to recover if he does get beat, plays the football very well.
Empty backfield on 2nd and 19. Finding Stewart, his second catch, pretty spin, and now Swarm. It's a gain of 8, and another flag.
Personal foul, face mask. Defense number 41. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Bo Bauer.
And we'll take a look at this. And watch his left arm. Comes up to grab the face mask of Stewart. Pretty easy call. Don't know if it was necessarily egregious, but enough to get the flag.
Costly penalty. 1st and 10 now.
You got to keep your eye on if they do want to play action passes. Number 81, Matt Sokol.
Sokol in motion. They give it to Sokol and he drops it. Able to get on top. Trying to get tricky.
Well, there's a reason why they call it the jet sweep. Typically you use it for the faster guys, not necessarily a tight end. Sokol has been more of a red zone target in regards to the passing game down here. Now they're trying to get him a different way of touching the football. And it looked like he was going to change hands, and that's typically when you have a fumble. Anytime you're going to change arms that you're carrying the ball in.
Second and goal from the 6. Looking right away, Davis floats it that way. What a catch by Davis! His second score.
We saw Darrell Stewart do it last week versus Notre Dame. Now we see Felton Davis, and watch him high point the football and then secure it into his body as he goes to the ground. This could be the best look. Does he maintain possession as he goes to the ground? He does. Covers it up, survives the ground, completes the action of the catch. What a day for Davis.
He has matched his season total in touchdowns in the first quarter.
4 receptions in the red zone, 4 touchdowns.
Matt Conklin makes it 14-0 Michigan State. Worth another look. Nothing Michigan State. Iowa 11-1 in its last dozen road games. That will be put to the test early on today. We take a look at that scoring drive. Davis again finds pay dirt.
Yeah, it's been a heavy dose of Felton Davis today. Made a bunch of plays for them in the red zone. Talked about it. The 4 receptions he has this season in the red zone are all for touchdowns. You can see why with his size and ability to go up and get the football.
Brett Scanlon swings his leg into it. Ivory Kelly Martin for the 6. Good return last time as he barrel rolls out towards the 30. 14-0 Michigan State. Brady, what does Iowa have to do to get back in this one quick?
They've got to have more success on first and second down. You know, they're dealing with the quickness of this Michigan State defensive front, something that they started off slow against Iowa State. That's somewhat of a more athletic, quicker defensive front, so they've got to do a good job of getting more production in the run game on first and second down.
Now 4 carries for the Hawkeyes, -6 yards so far. Trying to get Wadley going. And he's tackled from behind right away. Brandon Randall. Through the air this time, trying to find a seam. There's Matt Vandenberg, the 5th-year senior, good for a first down.
Yeah, both Matt Vandenberg and Nick Easley get targeted a lot on first and second down. Watch them set up the screen. Look at number 38, T.J. Hawkinson. Now, he was covered up, which means typically he's not going to be able to release downfield and be eligible. Because this ball was completed behind the line of scrimmage, it allows him to release downfield.
Foot injury last year cut Vandenberg's season short. It was fantastic 2 years ago for Iowa. Now play action. Stanley, clean pocket, deep heave, down the middle. And he overthrows his intended target, going once again to Vandenberg.
Well, they tightened up the splits, and what that does is it forces the Michigan State cornerbacks to play off a little bit. And that also allows them to be able to get up onto the safeties, where Iowa feels like they have the better mismatches in coverage. And they were working on the true freshman, Trey Person, number 24. Trying to get him isolated one-on-one with Vandenberg. And look at the nice move by Vandenberg to get to the inside, but unfortunately not an opportunity for him to make a play on the football.
A very limited playing time for Person so far this year, the freshman out of Atlanta.
Here's Wadley, top of the screen.
Stanley looking right, now stepping. Gets a block and gets hit short of the first down.
Nate Stanley's athletic enough, meaning he's mobile enough to run a lot of the boot action that they run and escape and pick up some yards. Not quite like the working, but good enough to be able to hurt you a little bit.
Well, Stanley, a tremendous 3-sport athlete in high school from Wisconsin. No point touching 90 miles an hour as a high school pitcher.
That's a big third down for momentum for Iowa right now.
They need 2. Quick hitter trying to find Fant, the tight end. He's got enough for the first down to move the chains and out of bounds at about the 40. Fant's first catch.
Noah Fant kind of falls in the footsteps of a former tight end for Iowa like Dallas Clark. He's got that sort of athleticism and pass catching ability. They run the quick screen to the outside. They free him up by motioning him across the formation. Michigan State was playing man-to-man coverage. Tend to do that on third down, but a big first down by Iowa.
Now for Fant, all 9 catches this year have either been for a score or a first down, just like that one. We'll step aside here from East Lansing. 14-0 Michigan State leading as we are about to begin the second quarter, our first quarter stats.
This is that area of the field where Iowa sometimes likes to take a shot. I'd like to see them take a shot to number 6, Smith-Marset. He's the guy that's got the most speed on this Iowa offense.
4 plays on first down so far for Iowa, minus a yard as Wadley tries to spin forward. Well, moments ago, Brady, this is it's about to get a little dusty here. What a tribute. This is something new at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City, the Children's Hospital that neighbors the stadium. Everyone at Kinnick Stadium turning and waving to the children on the top floor, and the good folks here of East Lansing doing the same, waving back to all the kids back in Iowa City.
Absolutely incredible the work that Iowa's done, but just to bring a smile to those kids' faces. You saw in Iowa City, you're seeing it here in East Lansing. Pretty special.
Wadley still trying to get free. 5 carries for just a yard. Nick Easley tries to put a move on gang tackle, not going anywhere. Trey Person, who seen some major playing time today.
That's a tough part for Iowa. When you look at how Michigan State's defensive backs match up against your wide receivers, they've got the better talent. They've got the better athletes. So they're going to have to make someone miss, or they're going to have to do something else within their formation or motion to be able to get guys free. As I said before, the one guy to keep your eye on is number 6, Amir Smith Marset, excuse me.
Stanley lobbing it to Smith Marset. Adjusts his route inside the 10. What an adjustment by the true freshman.
One-on-one. He's got the speed. He's got the size and ability. He's going to want to run an inside fade route. We're going the true freshman, Josiah Scott. And looks how once he gets ahead of him, then he can adjust back to the football. Good job by Nate Stanley giving him a ball that he can adjust to make the big play.
It's a pickup of 31, the big play that Iowa's been looking for. First and goal from the 8. Hawkinson moving to the right side. Wadley has been bottled up. Kenny Willekes. Chris Fry as well, one of the captains for Michigan State.
Where's the issue? Iowa's not getting up to the second level. They're not getting up to the linebackers to be able to cover down. So, right now, Fry and Bocce, they've been free runners. So they've got to do a better job of securing the defensive front and then getting bodies on the second level of the Michigan State linebackers. Now, how can you stop that? How can you slow down those linebackers? Well, a little bit of play action pass or make them have to think about some of these tight ends for Iowa. Number 87, Noah Fant just got back into the game at the bottom of your screen.
He's in motion. Wadley has a hole, bursts ahead, hurdles into the end zone. Paid her for the Hawkeyes for the first time.
Well, once they motion Fant away, it pulls the defender out of the box, and you're going to see them run the power to the left side of the screen. He's going to come around and end up lead blocking. That's really what helps create the hole. And I just talked about it a second ago. You got to do some different things with your formation and personnel in order to keep Michigan State on their heels.
Racinos puts it through. Iowa on the board. Cuts this Spartans lead in half. Akrum Wadley, the senior out of New Jersey. One of the best in the conference. Well, right as we went to break, Brady, we had a penalty on that extra point.
And this is a new rule. Look at number 98, Demetrius Cooper. He's going to try to jump over the offensive line for Iowa. This is called leveraging. So the rule change is you used to be able to line up off the ball and try to get a running start and jump over. But now, in order to help with player safety, they forced you to have to be on the defensive front if you want to try to jump over. The key is you can't touch anyone on the offensive line. They're trying to protect the lineman that you're trying to jump over, and they're trying to protect you as a player, too, because you can obviously fall and hurt yourself when you try to do that.
Now, Larry Jackson with some puncture wounds after that hurdle job. Didn't look too comfortable. Miguel Racinos getting ready to kick things away. Andre Welch, true freshman walk-on. Getting some looks here today on the kick return team. And up to L.J. Scott. And we'll pick up on first down. No surprise, Josie Jewell right there, the senior. His fourth tackle, leading tackler in the Big Ten. Jewell very lightly recruited coming out of high school. Kirk Ferentz saying that the coaching staff went back and forth as to whether or not he was actually a Division I player or not. Sure looks like he is. To pass. It's Josh Jackson up in the air, and Lewerke gets down to the ground just in the nick of time. O.J. Mudia right there. Let's go down to the field, bring in Bruce.
Aaron, Josie Jewell's story is pretty amazing. His grandpa Bob had dreamed of playing football for the home state Iowa Hawkeyes. A few months before that dream was going to be a reality, doctors discovered a brain tumor. He could no longer hear very well. It impacted his balance. 70 years later, grandson Josie Jewell is living his dream playing for the Hawkeyes. And like you said, he was a really under-the-radar recruit. No other offers. Iowa offered him right before signing day.
Yeah, incredible story. Thoughts maybe he'd go play D3 ball. 6 catch for Davis. This time they bottle him up compared to others, but O.J. Mudia in the coverage again. This will move the chains for a first down.
Dave Warner and the offensive staff is really trying to get Felton Davis the ball. They ran a little mesh concept, meaning they took the tight end, number 81, Matt Sokol. They basically drug him across the field so Davis could come underneath him and basically rub off his defender to get separation.
From the 36 on play action. Lewerke going deep, trying to find Davis for the 3rd time in the end zone, overthrows him.
Never in the history as a ball being completed that was thrown out of bounds. So it's a good idea. Again, continuing to work on O.J. Mudia. But you got to keep it in play. You got to at least give your wide receiver an opportunity. I think when that's happened today so far, Felton Davis has come down with the football.
Well, Davis entered today with 3 career touchdowns. He has 2 this afternoon in the first half. Lewerke rolling out. Now stepping up, spinning, stays alive. That's as far as he'll go. About back to the original line of scrimmage. Josie Jewell, Budgeta as well there.
Just when you think you have him in your grasp, there's a spin move, there's a cut, there's some sort of suddenness. I mean, that's the thing about him is I think people kind of slept on his athletic ability, even as, you know, being recruited as more of a prototypical pocket passer. He's kind of turned into more of a dual threat guy.
And then you can make the case the most athletic quarterback in the D'Antonio era.
True freshman Matt Hankins down there matched up on Davis on the bottom of your screen.
To pass on 3rd 11. Davis another catch. This is very close.
They ran a switch route and it allowed Davis to get upfield and get to the center of the defense where there's that void or soft spot in the zone coverage. He beats Hankins off the ball, settles in the window nicely. Let's see if he gets his hands underneath the football to secure the catch. He does.
That's a career best 7 catches for Davis. Keep in mind he had 12 entering today on the season.
Well, D'Antonio wanted a running back to emerge. I think we've seen a go-to wide receiver emerge here today.
There's no doubt about that. Stewart in motion on the jet sweep. He's got it. Trying to find the edge. A stiff arm to Jewell, and he runs out of bounds.
Good play by number 44, Ben Neiman.
Beg your pardon, Ben Neiman.
And he's a player in this Iowa defense who's really got a tough task because they'll split him out over the wide receivers and he's got to drop in his zone coverage, sometimes reroute and jam, but he's also got to play the run. You know, usually you match personnel, so that linebacker would come off the field and they put on a defensive back, but they don't at Iowa, at least not until 3rd down. But he's smart enough. His dad's the defensive coordinator at Rutgers. He gets the job done.
Andre London, the lone back. He was met immediately. A.J. Epinesa, true freshman, 5-star recruit. One of only 2 5-star recruits in the Ferentz era. As we're under 2 minutes here to play in the first half.
Had a sack last week, which led to a forced fumble versus Penn State. 6'5", 270 pounds. He's still got a ton of room to grow. And Chris Doyle, their strength and conditioning coach, I'm sure he'll continue to put on some more muscle.
Under a minute now. 3rd and 4 to go for the Spartans. The end zone, finding Davis again. Will a flag come in? No flag. Tight coverage. O.J. Mudia winning that one.
Lewerke working for the back shoulder watch as Davis goes upfield. O.J. Mudia does a good job staying on top. Decent amount of contact. You can't tell if it was necessarily O.J. Mudia or Davis. Either way, it would be a tough football to bring in.
Last week, Matt Coughlin connecting on his first field goal of the season. That was from 40 yards out. This from 38. And he's 2 for 2 on the season. Well, Iowa entering today 11-1 in its last 12 road games. That is in jeopardy today. Michigan State leading 17-7 at half. Well, now let's get you out to Rob Stone in Los Angeles for the State Farm halftime show. And we take a look now at our Geico first half stats.
I think the biggest thing really for both teams, but more so for Michigan State, is not turning over the football. Something they've dealt with in the past. Really hurt them last week versus Notre Dame. And that was the other thing, really trying to figure out, how both teams would respond after losses last week. So far, Michigan State coming out with more momentum and better execution in the first half.
Aaron Goldsmith alongside Brady Quinn, and these two teams, as we mentioned in the first half, have a history of playing very close, fairly contested games between one another. And one thing we saw first and foremost in the first half was a battle of field position.
Big time, and in particular Michigan State having more favorable field position, utilizing that to their advantage, and Iowa really not having much success on first down and struggling at times to get drives going and keep them going. So one of the biggest issues I think moving forward is going to be how Iowa comes out in the first half trying to get more success on first and second down.
Coughlin angles his kick, a short kick to the up man. Leveled at the 30. Let's go down to the field, check in with Bruce.
Aaron, I asked Kirk Ferentz, I said, what do you got to do to get your offense on track? He goes, well, we could start by actually blocking them. We are getting whipped. We are really taking it on the chin. In keeping up with the boxing analogies, Mark D'Antoni was pretty pleased with how well his defense tackled. He said, you know what? This is going to be a 12-round fight. We know we're going to be in this for the long haul. We got to keep playing hard.
All right, Bruce. You have to figure for Iowa trying to find a way to spring Wadley loose, averaging just 1.5 yards per carry, 11 carries, 16 yards at half number 1 for one of the best backs of the Big Ten.
If you look at this Iowa offense this season, their second half has been the better half at scoring points this year.
Swinging out to Wadley right away, puts on the brakes, sheds one man. Get past the 35. Kari Willis knocks him out of bounds, a safety.
That's the biggest key, trying to get it into his hands quickly and allowing him the opportunity to make a move. He's got such a good job of really start-stop ability. I mean, he can literally be at full speed, stop on a dime, and then accelerate again.
Well, that's Penn State. They saw that firsthand last week ago in Iowa City. Send the tight end in motion.
We saw the pressure from Michigan State coming from the right side. It looks like he's maybe trying to check to run to the left.
And he does. Near the first down. Panashuk, the defensive tackle. That'll move the chains. First down, Iowa.
Usually when you've got a one-back set, when you get pressure from the defense, you're going to run away from it because you don't have the extra blocker. But when you have a two-back set, you can run into it, you can run away. That time, Iowa elected to run away from it.
This time to throw. And a double coverage to Easley. He's got it inside the 30. Easley, a very quiet first half, just his second catch today.
We saw the widen fade to Smith-Marset earlier. Now we're going to see it with Nick Easley. Watch him as he gets outside leverage. He beats the defender, Kari Willis, downfield, and he should. That's a safety trying to match up with you. What about that throw, though? Just dropping it in the bucket. And even Nate Stanley handling the operations. The play clock was running down. He got everyone back where they needed to be before the snap and executed the play.
Pretty throw pickup of 32. Wadley's 14th carry today, averaging under 2 yards at Toadstool.
Already seeing more success on first down in this first drive for Iowa. We saw center number 78, James Daniels, working up to the next level. And they're going to have to continue to keep doing that if they want to have success.
For Smith-Marset. Instead, over the middle, trying to find his tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. A catchback in the first half. Andrew Dow draped on him. Now we saw that big play from Smith-Marset in the first half and picked up a 31. That's been it for him so far, though.
Credit the Michigan State defense. And they've done a good job really not allowing people to get downfield and make big plays. But this is that part of the field. You got to look at Fenton. You got to look at Marset. They're both on the same side right now at the top of your screen.
Fenton with just one catch. Fenton has it knocked away. What a play by Morrissey, who had a big week last week. Has been pretty quiet today. Not as much playing time.
It's one-on-one coverage. This is exactly what Iowa was hoping for. You see number 87 right there matched up on number 10, Matt Morrissey. It's exactly what they wanted. They wanted one-on-one coverage. Fant tries to box him out, but credit Morrissey for being able to get around and try to get a hand in to disrupt the play. Again, had a lot of tackles last week. Struggled in pass coverage.
On 4th and 8. Rastetter, the punter, throwing behind, and the catch is completed inside the 10. Little trickery from the Hawkeyes.
It's A.J. Epinesa. You're going to watch him kind of slip out all of a sudden. You get a little misdirection, all of a sudden it's a throwback to the eligible tight end. You got to love the design. You got to love the fact that Kirk Ferentz wasn't concerned at all about being down and just trying to get points. Being aggressive.
Safe to say the first career reception for Epinesa. All marked at the 8. Play action over the middle. Trying to find Vandenberg back in the end zone incomplete.
It's one of those pop passes. You see him at the NFL level, in particular with the New England Patriots. Brian Ferentz has brought that here to Iowa. Utilizing those hard play-action pass fakes and then try to slip in a little pop pass in behind.
On the ground on 2nd and goal. Inside the 5, Wadley taken down. Right about at the 5. Justin Lane coming over from the corner.
Good vision for the cutback by Wadley. Wasn't there on the play side. He was patient enough to see the cutback lane to go pick up a few. Hawkinson needed to do a better job of helping to seal his block. But right now on 3rd down, this is Noah Fant time.
Looking at the short side of the field, pressure, stays alive, and he loses it on the throw. Michigan State ball. Joe Bocci strikes again.
Unbelievable. Stanley's able to avoid Cooper being able to pull him down with the sack, and the ball slips out in the back end. It doesn't matter if it was a forward pass or a fumble.
The Michigan State player caught it before it hit the ground. First down, Michigan State.
I mean, either way, it was going to be ruled a turnover because Bocci got his hands underneath.
Timeout.
Brady, let's go back to what just happened. It is Spartans football. We'll take another look.
Well, here's the key. If it was ruled a forward pass, which it wasn't, it was ruled a fumble. As Bocci goes to secure the football and get underneath, you can see it right there. It rolls out as he's looking to, per se, survive the ground, meaning controlling possession of the football to the ground. Right there, he uses the ground to aid or assist him. So if it had been ruled a forward pass, it would have been incomplete because it's a fumble. Now they get the football.
Worthy rolling out, sets his feet, fires a strike. 8th catch by Davis today.
Just a lot of separation. When you're able to burn a team downfield, all of a sudden it makes those comeback throws much easier to get separation on. That's what that was. Josh Jackson has done a good job today in coverage. Right now, Felton Davis He's getting the best of everyone in that Iowa secondary.
Holmes not going very far. Josie Jewell right there. Anthony Nelson also to push him out.
Well, credit number 27, Amani Hooker. He actually came down from a safety position and forced the ball back inside to Jewell. Overly aggressive. They saw that quick pitch to the outside earlier in their game, and the Iowa coaching staff must have made the adjustment on the sidelines because Hooker was ready for it.
That fumble recovery, by the way, to go back a moment ago, the first fumble recovered this year by the Spartans defense. They were one of 9 teams in FBS play to have not recovered a fumble entering today's game. Behind, what a catch! Sensational grab, Larice Nelson. His second catch of the season is a thing of beauty.
Just watch this grab. He turns his body, really gets one hand on the football to secure the catch. The true freshman out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, American Heritage High School is a playmaker.
That's good for 23. His only other catch was for 5 yards in the opener against Bowling Green.
You've seen him get some more reps in the return game as well. They've got a lot of talent with this true freshman class here at Michigan State.
Quick strike, trying to get Stewart involved. Can't hold on to it.
I don't know if there's anyone better right now as far as downfield passing than Penn State and Trace McSorley. And the job that he does, throwing it up, giving his wide receivers opportunities to catch the football is second to none. Maybe Baker Mayfield in Oklahoma. It's those two guys.
In stride, first catch, Cody White. Pass to 40, Josh Jackson brings it down. Cody White, very, very impressive true freshman.
That's 6'3", 200 pounds, and he can move. And you see he finds the soft spot in the zone coverage, and it allows him the opportunity to get catch and run downfield.
Keep keeping this. Lunging forward for pickup of about 5 before met by Anthony Nelson. One of the great sack artists so far this season in the Big Ten.
You see the running ability of Lewerke, something that they've had in the past. I mean, even with Connor Cook, when you talk to the coaching staff, they said, we sprinkled in some zone reads, but it wasn't something we really did a ton. Maybe down in the red zone on third down. Now you're looking at an offense that implements it throughout the entire course of a drive because of his effectiveness running the football.
Now Lewerke has thrown for 2 scores today. Michigan State leading this one as we go into the 4th quarter from East Lansing. We start the 4th quarter 17-7 Michigan State. Well, this weekend, coaching staffs around the country will be wearing special arm patches in honor of the AFCA's Coach to Cure MD program. This is the 10th year coaches have joined together to raise funds and awareness for Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Fans are encouraged to donate by texting CURE to 50555 or post coaches2curemd.org. Third and 1 coming up for Michigan State. The Spartans, their last win here at home against Iowa, you have to go all the way back to 2008. 16-3 drag out affair.
Before Philly to the outside, I was loading the box for the run.
Looking over the middle, looking over towards Sokol, towards the boundary. 4th and long.
Puts a lot of pressure on Coughlin. I mean, this is a much longer field goal than what you were looking at previously.
I saw him line up earlier for a kick of over 50. This one for 48. His career long coming last week.
The biggest key, you're trying to make this a 2-touchdown game instead of a touchdown and a field goal.
No good. Missing from 48. He'll step aside. Michigan State leading 17-7. On Thursday, Michigan State celebrated the past, the present, and the future of its athletic program through its annual Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Current football players like Tyler Higbee, Christian Jackson received the varsity Letterman jacket, while 5 former Spartans greats were inducted into their Hall of Fame.
It's a great feeling. Not many schools still give out the varsity Letterman's jacket. Obviously a big tradition. They had that in Notre Dame when I was there. I still remember you kind of get it, you put it on, feel proud of what you've been able to accomplish as a student athlete.
Still have it?
Oh yeah, of course. It's my mom's house.
Best place to put it. Straight drop back pressure right up the gut. Stanley Flush stays on his feet and is able to make something out of nothing for a first down. Vandenberg, his second catch.
I was waiting for Michigan State to bring this pressure. Watch Bocce. He almost comes untouched. Wadley gets a piece, but it's Stanley. Look at the movement. Look at him pushing away with his left arm and still being able to keep his eyes downfield for the big game. Talk about quarterback play. That's what you want to see out of your starter right there.
Big young man, 265, 235. Short side of the field to Wadley, spinning loose. Looked like for a moment he might be able to pick up a few more, but he's met by Raekwon Williams. What do you make, Brady, of back-to-back weeks, for the most part, at least on the ground, Wadley being pretty bottled up?
I think the biggest key has been for this Iowa offensive line. You know, that they've been kind of, I don't want to say getting manhandled. Penn State did a good job disguising some of their looks, giving them some different things up front. I think Michigan State so far has done a good job getting penetration, not allowing the Iowa offensive line to get up to Bocce's level with the rest of the linebackers.
Wadley just 17 carries for 30 yards in a score. Dumps it off to Wadley. Makes 2-man miss. Trying to make it third. He's shy of the sticks.
Stanley's pass is complete to Wadley.
Talk to the coaching staff of Michigan State. Listen, he's a guy you got to gang tackle because he's going to make the first 1 or 2 guys miss. So you got to rally to the football and surround him when you're trying to bring down Wadley. Huge third down, and you got to wonder too, with 12 minutes and 30 seconds left, if they weren't able to pick this up, is this the potential of 4th down territory? Is it getting to that point in the game, or do you continue to play the field position battle?
Ball of the Spartans, 46. Easily split right. Vandenberg, top of the screen. Enough for a first down. T.J. Hawkinson's been a busy guy. His third catch had 5 grabs all season coming into today.
Big number 38, you mentioned it. Having a big day. Watch as he kind of releases downfield. He's going to get a quasi little rub almost by Easley. See how Easley stems inside, kind of creates some traffic that the Michigan defense has to fight through. That's what opens up Hawkinson for the conversion.
He had 20 pounds of muscle, mostly so he could prove that he could block. And today's been busy the pass game also.
There's that pressure again. Look at Stanley handling the line of scrimmage, audibling the play.
It's Andrew Kelly Martin, the I-back. He gets the carry, and he is met immediately. Loss of the play.
The game within the game. High-level football played in the Big Ten. You've got the offense changing their play because they sense a blitz. Look at the defense. Look at Bocce. Look at the rest of the guys signaling. See, they check out of the blitz, and now all of a sudden they're back to playing sound fundamental defense. They're not bringing the pressure. Go back and play the run.
So lots of 2, 2nd and 12. Dumps it off underneath. Kelly Martin out of the backfield. Shy of the first down.
Just waiting for one of these boots or play action pass fakes. Been running the football pretty effectively so far on this drive. Got to wonder at some point. Get the ball to Hawkinson. Get the ball to Fan. A little play action pass or boot game.
The one touchdown today for the Hawkeyes. A run from Akrum Wadley. Remember Stanley leading the Big Ten in touchdown passes. Easley, the man in motion. Throws behind Easley, incomplete. 4th and 2 coming up.
As you can see, again, they're setting a stack, allowing easily to get a kind of a natural rub from Vandenberg as he releases upfield. That forces Lane to have to fight through traffic, with Stanley just doesn't put the football all the way outside, allowing easily to run to it. Now the pressure is on Racinos.
Season long 44, this from 43. Some much needed points going through the uprights for Iowa. One possession game, 17-10. Michigan State under 10 minutes to go from East Lansing. Plenty of good catches today from inside Spartan Stadium. Take a look at our game summary, sponsored by Dockers. Khakis ready for anything. What stands out the most to you, Brady?
Really the game that Felton Davis had. I mean, a career day for him. You look at Brian Lewerke and the job that he's done. Not turning over the football, even the running game. L.J. Scott, Holmes, everyone kind of involved. That was the struggle so far this season, and they've taken care of the football. But for Iowa, just keep hanging around. You got a couple stops on defense the last 2 drives. Can you step up big again and try to get the football back to your offense?
Now remember, these two teams have split their last 8 meetings, with 5 of those games decided by, guess what, 7 points or fewer. Welch on the return. Pass to 20. Hit hard, stays on his feet. Impressive. Andre Welch taking a hit and keeps on ticking. To London. And he is driven back by Josie Jewell. All kinds of time. Davis again beyond the sticks for a first down.
I love this. Everything Brian Lewerke is doing right now, the way he continues to keep working through his progression. What was even better about this play is he knew he was going to get hit in the mouth. You're eventually going to see number 96, Matt Nelson, get a hit on him at the end of the play right there. And he stands in there tough, throws a strike, gets the first down, trying to close out this game.
9th catch for Davis. And let's keep in mind for Lewerke, just his 6th career start. How impressive is that ability to work through the progressions this young?
It's big time, especially considering he had 2 starts last year. The coaching staff wished he would have gotten more time.
Trying to keep his footing. Out to L.J. Scott. Saves that play a little bit. Minimal pickup.
Seems like every time there's something happening around the football, it's Josie Jewell. He once again forcing Lewerke to have to get the football out of his hand. Almost a dangerous pass, but watch number 43. Once he realizes he's read and run, but once he sees that open alley, he ends up firing his gun, trying to take a shot on Lewerke, but forces the football out is the big key.
Named after the title character in Clint Eastwood's 1976 The Outlaw, Josie Wales. The pitch. Scott trying to hurdle.
Yeah, it's potential for a late hit. Fans sure wanted it. Let's check out L.J. Scott. He goes to hurdle Hooker, and he was clearly out of bounds.
Epinesa there to greet him. Jay Moody back in the game now.
Yeah, and that's maybe the guy you're looking at going up against Felton Davis.
3rd and 8. Through the hands of Davis. We haven't said that much today.
Well, that ball was a little too far behind, and I actually think it was more Lewerke trying to protect his wide receiver. Safety was starting to bear down on that route. Take a look. You're going to see Davis on a slant. Look at Hooker. He's right there waiting for him, and as a quarterback, it's kind of built in. It's a natural instinct. You don't want to lead him into a big hit like that, especially Felton Davis, a guy who's played unbelievable so far today.
Jackson back to return. Under 5 minutes to go. Our partner boots it away. Jackson calling it for the fair catch. 4:39 left. This should surprise no one that we are in the final minutes, and this game is separated by a touchdown.
Iowa offense right now, it's got to get into gear through the air.
Long field ahead. Ball at the 7. Vandenberg. Past the 10.
You look at Nate Stanley's numbers against the blitz, because Michigan State just brought another cross dog blitz. He struggled a little bit as far as his completion percentage, but 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's not forcing the football. He's done a very good job of handling the pressure. Very calm, very poised.
P.J. Hawkinson, by the way, the leading receiver so far for Iowa. Not many would have probably guessed that entering today. At the feet of his intended target, looking for fans.
And really credit number 2, Justin Lane. He was the cornerback outside on Smith-Marset. He actually washed down Smith-Marset so far. He ended up running into Noah Fant's route. Find yourselves in 3rd and 5. Be too surprised if they didn't try to come back to him.
Now Marsette's the game breaker. Just 1 catch in the first half for 31 yards. Wadley comes back into the backfield. Underneath, and it's dropped. Right through the hands of Nick Easley. Normally so sure-handed.
And he had plenty of green grass to pick up the first down and more. A well-designed play. They ran him on a shallow cross, and again, set kind of a pick. He's going to come down. You're going to see the tight end release up. That's going to create a natural little rub there as he's running through what actually was the zone coverage for Michigan State. Iowa's going to rely on their defense once again to try to get them a stop like they have this entire second half.
Fair catch. Maurice Nelson on to 39 yards. Spartans looking for their first home win against the Hawkeyes since 2008 as we go in depth to their second half possessions.
Look at the way the Iowa defense has stepped up, getting their end of the deal done. They're going to be tasked with it once more, and you got to wonder how aggressive defensive coordinator Phil Parker will be. Will bring some more pressure in hopes of keeping Michigan State out of field goal range.
Keep it on the ground, L.J. Scott. You start looking at this one from the Michigan State perspective. Only 1 win in conference play last year versus Rutgers. They've got a chance to pick up their first conference win in their first conference game this season against a very good Iowa team. Stewart spinning, and he is wrestled down. Parker Hesse. One timeout left for the Hawkeyes.
Here's the hard part. I mean, you've got at some point to vote a couple players to Felton Davis. He's played that well this year. It looks like they're going to try to play man-to-man coverage.
On 3rd and 12. The work keeps stepping up. Can he pick up the 12 on his own? Yes, he can. First down, Spartans. That's a gain of 15.
Well, they played man-to-man coverage, but the only person they didn't have someone responsible for is the quarterback. You're going to watch these 2 safeties playing the deep halves. It's going to create all this room as everyone else is in man coverage. So if you're Iowa, you cannot let Lewerke out of the pocket for the big game. That's going to be too much green grass. Lewerke sees it, wisely gets the first down.
Longest run of the day from either side. Lewerke pacing all rushers today. To Scott, trying to thread his way through. Another timeout called. Hawkeyes out of timeouts. 2:52 left. We'll step aside. Under 3 minutes to go. Spartans on top. Brady, our Duluth Trading Company hardest working player. Who do you have today?
That's that guy right there, number 35, Joe Bocci. 9 tackles and a sack. Also had a fumble recovery which was going to negate points for Iowa. Remember, Nate Stanley trying to push up in the pocket, the throw. Ball slipped out. Bocce was there for the recovery. So a huge day for the Michigan State defense.
Bocce, who burned his red shirt last year because of injuries to his teammates, and he has come on in full force as a first-year starter this year. Spartans' leading tackler. And another big day. Scott trying to wheel forward. Well, we talk about the fumbling issues, the turnovers for the Spartans, and what today really highlights in a lot of ways, Brady, is that to this point, at least, time running out. It's about 2.5 left.
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet. Not only have the Spartans not coughed it up, but they have actually forced the turnovers, which is something that the coaching staff was really stressing this week.
They were stressing that and not trying to stress the offensive side of turning over the football. So there's a fine line. You coach it so much, it almost becomes kind of a thing. And you start playing a little bit different. They don't want their guys to worry about that. But defensively, they've got to be pleased with the ability to get turnovers. That's something that they knew eventually would come. They just didn't know at what point in time. They coached the drills, they're trying to punch it out and working on all that. But it finally got to hit home today.
Scott is met immediately for a loss.
Well, there was. That was the all-out blitz that defensive coordinator Phil Parker likes to sprinkle in at times. A good job by the Iowa defense. Sometimes when you blitz, you can get out of your run gap responsibility. And clearly not here. Who was it? Once again, Josie Jewell.
That's his 15th tackle. Remember, he had 16 a week ago against Penn State at home. And for those efforts, named the Big Ten Co-Defensive Player of the Week.
Michigan State has one more timeout. With it being this close, you almost don't mind taking a delay of game penalty to back up a little bit so you have more room instead of wasting that last timeout in case you need it on this next drive.
D'Antonio 4-4 lifetime against Iowa. Ferentz 7-7 lifetime against Michigan State. Hartbarger ready to go. Inside the 20 to the 16.
So here's the situation. 45 seconds, no timeouts. The ball has got to get out of bounds if it's not a first down. And you've got to communicate efficiently to not waste any time at the line of scrimmage when the clock is running.
Stanley now feeling pressure. Flushed. Throws it away. Took some time for that to develop and turn into nothing.
And Michigan State, they're going to guard the sidelines. So they're going to force Iowa to take completions in the middle of the field, even if they do give them first downs, because they know it's going to take a lot of time off the clock for them to get upfield and get set up and communicate the next play.
Smith-Marset with the speed at the top of the screen. Ball is stripped. It's loose. And Stanley is able to belly flop on top of it. Demetrius Cooper forced it free.
The clock's running. They got to get back and communicate a play. This might be one of the final plays of this game.
Pass complete to Fant.
That'll do it.
Michigan State, of course, a flag. It'd only be appropriate.
False start on the offense. That includes a 10-second runoff. The game is over.
Michigan State, their first conference game of the season, and they win it 17-10 over Iowa.
And correcting a lot of the mistakes that plagued them a week ago versus Notre Dame. Heading in the right direction as they've got that big matchup coming up versus the Wolverines in Ann Arbor next week. Wolverines coming off of a bye, so this is a huge momentum builder for the Spartans.
Now for Iowa, they came into this one 11-1 in their last 12 road games, so a rare road loss for Kirk Ferentz and the Hawkeyes. 17-10, the Spartans get the victory today and improve to 3-1 on the season. Hawkeyes fall to 3-2. We'll get you back to Los Angeles for more post-game coverage right after these messages.